Finally, the typical storyline in a crime thriller relates around someone being kept as a hostage, gangsters and their lives, and also murder mysteries. In many crime thrillers, they use plot twists to get the audience to re-evaluate who killed who, or who the real enemy is. For example, in the film Pulp Fiction, there's a plot twist with one of the criminals actually being a police officer. Plus, in the film Rear Window, we find out near the end of the film who the real enemy / protagonist is. Thriller films, the main locations are normally in big cities across the world or in small dark towns. In the film Goodfellas, it is set in New York City, which is a typical setting of a crime thriller film. While the TV show Breaking Bad is set in a small town near the Mexican desert, these locations are often used for the characters in a film when they normally have drug deals or gunfights. Typical characters used in crime thrillers are normally gangsters, drug dealers, police officers, or murderers. Characters like Walter White, Henry Hill, and Mr. Blonde are all characters from crime thrillers. Walter White is an anti-hero as he's helping make money to support his family. However, he is a drug dealer and soon becomes like his enemies. Secondly, Henry Hill is a gangster who lives in New York City, taking drugs and killing people who annoy him. And finally, Mr. Blonde is a criminal who is a psychopathic murderer. Finally, the typical storyline in a crime thriller relates around someone being kept as a hostage, gangsters and their lives, and also murder mysteries. In many crime thrillers, they use plot twists to get the audience to re-evaluate who killed who, or who the real enemy is. For example, in the film Pulp Fiction, there's a plot twist with one of the criminals actually being a police officer. Plus, in the film Rear Window, we find out near the end of the film who the real enemy / protagonist is. For example, in the film Reservoir Dogs, there's a plot twist with one of the criminals actually being a police officer.
Used in action thriller films, as it normally creates an action-packed ride for the audience and leaves them on the edge of their seats. In the film Speed, it uses fast-paced soundtrack which fits in with the storyline. Many film scores normally parallel music. Many film scores are usually parallel to the situation in the storyline. Films are normally set in popular cities around the world, such as New York in the film Batman Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, and in Paris in the film Taken. Car chases and continuous action sequences are shown throughout the film in these typical locations. This can create a sense of danger in these locations as many people as they using action thriller films are assassins, mafia, spies and police officers. Films such as John Wick, who the main character, John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves, is an anti-hero who is an assassin trying to kill the Russian mafia, who are the antagonists in the film. Many action thriller films use male actors as protagonists in the film rather than Storylines used in action thriller films often evolve around gangsters, assassins, the law, or the hero trying to save the girl. Storylines in action thriller films are normally realistic and normally have twists towards the end of the film. The film Enemy of the State is about a lawyer, played by Will Smith, who becomes a target by the US politicians and the NSA.
In sci-fi thriller films, the main locations are normally in dystopian areas, in space, different planets, or civilization, or on Earth, where the world has developed. In the film Elysium, it's set in the year 2154 on Earth, where poor, ill people live on Earth, while wealthy live on a man-made space station where life is better. This is the typical location of a science fiction film, as many people live in a dystopian society. The music used in sci-fi films are normally film score or techno music, which sounds more futuristic. The film Blade Runner uses dark classical and melodic music to create a tense, horrific atmosphere in the film, making the audience imagine that what it must be like to live in a society similar to the film. In sci-fi films, the storylines are normally about heroes trying to rebuild or survive from the dystopian world, or creatures or aliens from other planets that hunt down humans to try to destroy planet Earth. In the film Alien, There are human survivors on a spaceship trying to hide from them and escape the deadly aliens who are feasting on their prey. While the film Terminator 2, Judgment Day, is about John Connor being the key to humanity's victory over the robots' army, Skynet send the killer machine back in time to kill John Connor so they rule the Earth in the future.
That was a joke.
In many sci-fi films there are a variety of characters which are both male or female. Over the years, female characters are becoming the lead role in the film, taking a heroic role. For example, the character Ellen Ripley from Alien is the main character who has to survive from the aliens.